All right, forecasting. Forecasting is where we start looking at next year and the classes that you need to graduate. We look at your transcripts, we look at the credits you've already earned, and we start focusing on checking off those boxes on those sheets that I have for you guys. And we start picking our classes for next year. Forecasting this year will happen in March, so it's important that you guys are here during that time. Typically, I will meet you guys in a classroom, or you guys will come to me in the Pathway Center, and we will have a designated time for you guys to look at your transcript and Washington State requirements and start picking your classes for next year. I want you guys to also pick alternates. So, what this means is that if you are interested in taking a class like photography, and let's say that class is full, or we're not going to offer it, or whatever it may be, you guys are picking alternate classes that you guys might want as well. That's something last year as freshmen, I was just grateful to have students forecast. And so we didn't really focus on alternates, but moving forward, when you see alternates, know that I want that. I want you guys to put your alternates in. It's really helpful. Another thing that I want you guys to know is that based on what you guys forecast for in March, that dictates how we set up our master schedule the following fall, the following school year. So you guys dictate our master schedule. So it's important that when you're forecasting, you're being intentional about the classes that you want, because we're building how many classes we need to have based on what you guys are forecasting for. The other piece that is important with the requests that you guys do is that if you guys see a class, like for example, beginning guitar, and you're interested in that, forecast for it. If we have enough students and we have the staffing to do it, we will offer that class. So it's important that you guys know that you guys do have a voice in the classes that we offer here at River. So make sure in March, you guys are here. And I really look forward to working with you guys and looking towards your future. So come to school in March. All right, so this next slide is kind of just an example of a typical junior year schedule. So over to the left, Columbia River in that column. If you guys are planning on just attending River next year, you're not going to do Running Start or IB or a magnet program, or you're not sure yet. But for right now, the plan is that you'll be here. We'll focus on your 4 core classes. That would be your English, your math, your science, and your history. So for example, English 11, if you're in geometry this year, you'll take Algebra 2. You guys are in world themes this year, so you'll take US history next year, and then science, whatever next consecutive class comes for you, depending on the science that you're in. And then the other 2 classes that you guys would forecast for is either elective class, or we're finishing up your art requirements, or that CTE class, or your world language, or PE. So if you're in Spanish 1 this year, then you're going to want to forecast for Spanish 2 next year, because to meet the world language requirement, we need 2 consecutive years of the same language. So essentially, if you're going to attend River next year and you're not doing Running Start, IB, or a magnet program, we're going to focus on your 4 your 4 core classes, and finishing up your PE, art, CTE, or your world language. And then for students who are planning on Running Start or committing to the full IB program, Running Start students, it's really important that you guys meet with me so that we can kind of build your schedule here at River, whether you're attending part-time or you're going to attend full-time at Clark. We want to make sure that you're meeting your high school graduation requirements, and then you're going to work with Clark on the Clark requirements. It's important to know, like, Clark will advise you on what's best for Clark. They won't advise you on what's best for your high school. So again, if you're planning on Running Start, make sure you guys connect with me in the springtime. And then for IB students, if you decide you want to commit to full IB next year, you guys are going to meet with Julie Nygaard, our IB coordinator, or Morgan Parker. So for Running Start and IB students, it's imperative that you guys work with the assigned individuals, myself, Julie Nygaard, Morgan Parker, to make sure that you guys are following those program requirements and that we're meeting the needs for that program. And then if you're looking at, a half-day magnet program or Cascadia Tech, Depending on the program, your schedule might differ a little bit, but for the most part, we're looking at 3 classes. So English or history, your math and your science. And then you would do the other 3 classes at whatever program you're in, or if you go to Cascadia Tech. All right, so here is an example of a typical IB schedule. Again, this won't be your schedule if you decide to commit full IB. This is just an example. So you guys will focus on your 5 core classes. That will be your English, your history, your math, your science, and then your language. And then that 6th subject will be whatever you decide is your 6th subject. Julie Nygaard will talk more in depth about your 6th subject, but this is just an example of what that might look like for you guys.